evening, everybody. Alongside Teddy Atlas, I'm Joe Tessitore. We welcome you ringside for a much-anticipated bout. Let's set the table for you and get ready to dish up this big night of action. Yuriorkis Gamboa's ring walks have become the stuff of legend, and you can see the intensity on his face. Malignaggi's coming down to the ring, and you can tell with that zip in his step that he plans on this one being a spectacular evening for him.
Fighting out of the blue corner, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Yuriorkis Gamboa and his opponents fighting out of the red corner, the Magic Man Malignaggi.
All right, remember one thing: obey my commands at all times.
Round number one is now underway. All the talk is done. It is simply time to fight. Well, Teddy, here in this matchup, two guys who tend to go the distance. What do we look for early?
You know, I'm looking to see who can be more consistent in just one area. Who uses their jab a little bit steadier.
Gamboa lands a nice counterpunch. Malignaggi's not hitting the mark solid there. That was just a glancing shot. Not the most accurate upper. There it is! That uppercut absolutely rocked him. Boy, I don't like the way his legs look at all right now. Oh, he just ate a big uppercut right there. He had no idea it was coming his way. He does not look good at all. A headshot blocked. Dismisses his opponent's headshot. Malignaggi with a block punch. Nice strike after catching one by Yuriorkis Gamboa. Nice block that time. It was intended to the head. Teddy, what do you think is the most misses?
Well, I think people don't realize how big those people have to be. I know that sounds crazy because they're smaller guys, but they have to be big in all the other dimensions, with discipline, with confidence, and with their technical approach, their technical development. They have to deal with guys that are really fast. The bigger guys don't have to deal with all those elements.
Good combination by Yuriorkis Gamboa. And now another left. Well-targeted two-punch combo by Yuriorkis Gamboa. Frustrating his opponent with great defense. Not getting it done with that straight right hand. Keeping his hands up, getting rid of his opponent's offense. Targeting the hooks on each man. Able to dismiss that body shot. Nice, precise work, doubling it up by Malignaggi. He got hit right there, but he also gave one. Solid effort by Gamboa. Dismisses his opponent's headshot. We come to the end of the round. A round that I'm having a tough time trying to think about who won. I can only imagine what the judges are thinking about. Teddy, if there's one thing you look for in a round like that and say, okay, I'm going to give it to this guy over this guy, what is it?
Well, the first thing is, if I'm a judge, I take a little notepad and I make a little mark down, blue or red corner, what he did early. Because sometimes the judge has a tendency to forget what was done early and only go with what went late.
Blocks the headshot. Good counter by Gamboa. Now this is impressive stuff right here because he's showing us that he can count. There it is! What a shot! Big hook comes in. He is stunned there, and now he ties up.
He ties up, and he was allowed to tie up, and that's what he's going to be sorry for, the other guy, that he allowed himself to get grabbed.
Super two-punch combo by Gamboa. Not able to land the headshot. Reaching the halfway mark of this. Wow! Now look at him. He does not look good on the back end of that hook coming home. Good clean shot, returning fire. Well done by Gamboa. Parries that punch intended for the head. Malignaggi is just trying to push away. He wants to breathe a little. Blocks away that headshot. Blocks it away. Targets a counter overhand right. Gamboa's last round is a good example of what can happen when you just stay active. He threw more punches, he landed more punches. You can see the punch stats here, and it really paid off for him.
Yeah, what's that old saying? With great power comes great responsibility, and with great punch stats or high punch stats comes danger sometimes. Well, I made that one up. I don't know if there's actually a saying for that. But that's where you got to be careful. Yeah, the punch numbers are real high, but the more you throw, the more chance of somebody catching you as you throw it. He has to be aware of that.
And he's able to put his punches together. That's a nice-looking combo.
Well, that's the benefit of 2 and 3 instead of 1.
You get the sense that we have a fight in front of us that's going to be fought this way, right to the bitter end, go the full distance, and be one of those fights that's greatly debated over.
Well, you hope they get it the right way, but it's very important that they...
Holy cow! Malignaggi's been stunned! Great fight. I mean, just a great fight. Both guys giving their all back and forth.
It doesn't get much better.
Teddy, he went from being on the edge of the cliff to now climbing back up the mountain.
Well, you know, that's where you'd want to know if a guy recovers fast. Obviously, he has the capacity to recover very quickly.
Had his target in mind, but just missed. Malignaggi's really disappointing us with his lack of work to the body.
Yeah, it is.
Good looking right hand after he got hit. Good job fighting from the outside. They trade shots. He comes back with a right hand. Good way to protect the midsection.
Side to side. Lean to the side, then boom. Okay, listen. Body in here. Body in here. Double put your body.
Back to fight action as a new round is underway. Of course, in that last round, it was fairly one-sided. He was hit pretty hard, and now he has to overcome that here.
Yeah, you don't have to be Notre Dame to know that. I mean, everybody saw, you know, he got staggered, his knees buckled, did a little dance there. But what you have to really know now is know why you got hit and correct that immediately.
I would assume there has to come a point in this fight where he has to make the commitment to throw the power punches. It's hard to envision a way he's going to win this fight without going down that road.
He doesn't have the confidence to do it. I don't know if he's mentally strong enough to do it. I think he's worried about throwing hard at the guy because maybe in his mind that means the guy will throw hard back at him.
Nice block that time. It was intended to the head. Good work. 2 clean shots get in by Malignaggi. Malignaggi's making me real curious here, Teddy. I wonder, should he be sticking with this style after being rocked in this fight?
It's still early enough. I would say yes. You know, you don't want to panic. You don't want to just throw everything overboard. You want to stay with what brought you here. Hey, he's been taught this not for hours, not for days, not for weeks. You know, months and years he's been taught this. You don't throw it out. You stay with it.
Oh, Yuriorkis Gamboa. Wow! Yuriorkis Gamboa on the canvas and hurt. And somehow, some way, he's going to continue on here.
And if he's going to stay in this fight, now he's got to avoid his opponent like the Black Plague.
Comes right back at him with a left hand. That's great stuff. He fires one right back after taking one. Gotta love the work by Malignaggi.
Don't walk into someone else throwing a punch. Nice. He's hurt. I need you to jump on him in this round.
And that round is underway, and we are halfway through the scheduled slate. Nice block by Yuriorkis Gamboa. Good block by Gamboa.
Side to side, move your head.
Able to get away from that headshot with the block. Solid right hands headline that exchange. Reaching the halfway point of round number 6. Good counter by Gamboa. The twists and turns and the non-stop battle, it continues on as we've reached the 1-minute mark to go. Oh, that's good stuff. Firing right back with one of his own. Good work by Yuriorkis Gamboa. He comes back with the left hand again. Very precise double jab by Yuriorkis Gamboa. Nice block by Yuriorkis Gamboa. This has been a hotly contested war throughout, and you just have a sense that it's going to end at any moment in these later rounds.
Yeah, these guys are not saving anything. They're going for broke right from the beginning.
Another round, and if it keeps up with the rest of them, it'll be closely contested and hard to score. Good block by Gamboa. Great movement to get away from those punches. That just missed. Teddy, you know what I'm so impressed by? Obviously, the pace of this fight is just ridiculous, but how hungry these guys are, how badly each guy wants it.
Joe, this is the kind of fight that it has nothing to do about money. It has everything to do about legacy, how they're going to be remembered.
Halfway through what is one of the best rounds you'll ever see. Just great action.
No, it's unbelievable. I mean, if you love roller coasters, you go to an amusement park. If you want to see left hooks, right hands, every direction, great chins, great endurance, great heart, you come to this fight. You stay right here.
That's just like a little love shove right there. Just a little love shove to give yourself some room. Good defensive skill with the block by Yuriorkis Gamboa.
Beat him to the punch.
Good looking counter punch by Paulie. 10 seconds to go in the 7th. Nice work with the jab on the outside. Yuriorkis Gamboa is really impressing us here, Teddy, coming off that last round. I mean, he laid down a beating to his opponent, but sometimes confidence can also be an enemy in this game.
Yeah, you can get a little bit of overconfident. You could get careless. You know, you could forget where you were earlier or forget what you knew when you were coming into the ring. Things that you had to understand as far as defensive liabilities. He has to remember that.
Oh, and they decide to trade there. And now another left. Yuriorkis Gamboa's got a real acquired skill here, and that is the ability to pick your shots and land them.
So you hear the saying when people say, do you know what time it is? You have to know what time it is. He knows what time it is. He knows when to throw a certain punch.
He got hit right there, but he also gave one. Solid effort by Yuriorkis Gamboa. Nice counter by Malignaggi. We got an interesting fight here. It looks like one man is seemingly in control, but the other is still live, is still game, is still capable. May need to hit that jackpot, though.
Well, he probably does need that knockout. So right now he has to adjust his game plan. He's thinking a little bit. He's got to look for a spot to land one big shot. Maybe when he's pulling out.
Gamboa lands a nice counter punch. He has taken a lot of punishment here.
Well, the special fighters find a way, even when it's desperate like this, to survive. He's got to find that way right now.
A stinging counter punch after some fine defense by Yuriorkis Gamboa. Off to the side, a little swing and a miss going upstairs. Yuriorkis Gamboa's statistics really shine in that last round. You can see that he was able to land more punches than his opponent. Now, it's not black and white. You land more punches, you win the round. But in this case, I do think he's up on the scorecards based on that round.
Yeah, I believe he is too. You know, you're looking at it, and you just feel that he's got control of the pace, the tempo. You know, he's winning the fight, but there's a risk there because he's starting to throw a lot of punches, sometimes a little carelessly. That's going to leave him a little bit open to a counter.
Malignaggi's got no head movement whatsoever. I mean, this is a very easy target to hit here.
No, if it wasn't for his opponent snapping his head back with his jab, there'd be no head movement at all. But that's not the kind of head movement that you're talking about. He should be doing it on his own, getting away from the punches. But, Joe, if you haven't been taught it, it's not going to show up suddenly the night of the fight.
Right hand over the top. He counters back after denying his opponent's shot. How is he able to do this? How is he able to take these shots?
You know, one time Muhammad Ali talked about taking a chin. He had one of the great chins of all time. And what he basically talked about was that when you start to get hit those shots, you start to go down a hallway. And then you go into a gray room. You go from a light room to a gray room. And at the end of the hallway, you see a dark room. You don't want to go to that dark room. And you have a choice. You put your feet down and you start backing up. I'm not going to that dark room. This guy is not being taken to that dark room.
Oh, that's gotta hurt. Malignaggi's stunned and he is hurt. He goes down. Oh, he may be close here. Can he survive the round? From a big shot, now he's got to have some big guts to move along.
You're going to find out exactly what he's made of.
Good clean shot, returning fire. Well done by Yuriorkis Gamboa. Round comes to an end. We saw the knockdown there in that round, a little bit of a momentum gainer.
Yeah, obviously it gives you confidence, but you know what? It can also be a momentum killer, believe it or not.
How so?
Joe, I've had guys where the worst thing that happened to them in a fight was when they scored the knockdown because they thought it was just going to keep happening. And they thought about only the punch they landed, not how they set it up. So they got away from the game plan.
Teddy, I guess they wanted it. Look at this action going right out there, wasting no time.
No, these guys are impatient. They couldn't wait to get at each other.
Malignaggi's got to deal with a cut sheet. Malignaggi's once again on the bad end of a hook. Oh, and they decide to trade there. Malignaggi with a block. There it is! Malignaggi's stunned and he is hurt. And he crashes to the canvas once again. He's gotten up before. What about this time? So he goes down, but able to get up to his feet. Teddy, what should he be thinking about now?
Well, right now, just surviving, but if he survives, then he better figure out why he was put on the floor.
A minute to go in what has been 2 minutes of sensational action. Neither man coming off stride. Good block by Paulie. Doubling up the jab by Yuriorkis Gamboa. Able to block that away. Oh, Malignaggi's in a bad place right now. Oh, this is going to be close. He may be able to survive the round, but he has gone down now. The ref is stopping this fight. Yuriorkis Gamboa is going to have his hand raised by way of KO. The 10 count reached, his opponent out. He's the victor. Yuriorkis Gamboa is your winner by impressive knockout victory.
And he did it just the way he had to. Stayed on the outside and used those quick hands all night.
Alongside Teddy Atlas, I'm Joe Tessitore. Thanks for being with us. We'll see you next time ringside.